All right, here with another episode of Engineering Culture. I'm not sure we're going to talk about culture very much. We're going to talk about a number of different things with Nick Bahe. I was going to give you a title, but you have a lot of them. It's now business owner, announcer, podcaster, funny man, basketball player, former football player.
Yeah.
What else? Am I missing?
That's it. Dad and husband.
Dad and husband. Probably.
I don't know. You can label them in hierarchy of however you want to do that, but dad and husband probably need to be up there. But
probably at the top.
Yeah. We'll remove funny man and we'll slide in dad and husband. We'll do that.
Okay. All right. So first off, we're going to Shot 360 is a new thing. I just want to hit that first.
Yeah.
So Shot 360 Lincoln, coming to Lincoln soon.
Mm-hmm.
It is a state-of-the-art, world-class facility for not just kids, but people,
all
pros,
ages. Yeah.
doesn't matter, college, pro, on down, that want to get their shot better. And it's the technology behind it is fantastic.
Yes, it is. It's a membership-based basketball training facility that specializes in skill development of basketball, of shooting, ball handling, and passing. And what sets Shoot 360 apart is the state-of-the-art technology that NBA teams use. 26 NBA teams use this technology, and it gives you objective, real-time feedback after every single rep you take inside the facility. Every shot, every pass, it is tracking and giving you real-time feedback, and it's all tracked through an app where you can track every single shot you've ever taken inside of the facility. And so, it all kind of started. So my brother, Alex, who's head coach at Lincoln Southwest, he's was at Elkhorn South, won a state championship, over 200 wins. I think the world of him. And so he's doing this with me. We're both owners here. And he stumbled into a facility in Indianapolis. He was with his seventh grader at the time in a tournament in Indianapolis, and was like, what is this place? There's these passing walls and these shooting bays. And he was like, Shoot 360, what is what? And so we look it up. We see that it's a national franchise. You can franchise it. We call, things kind of move quickly. We're able to acquire the franchise relatively fast. This was not this summer, but the summer before this. And so for me, it was like, Mike, it was love at first concept of it. Like seeing it, fell in love with it right away. And then getting inside of one, we were able to get out to the headquarters out in Vancouver, Washington, right by Portland. And you get inside of one, Mike. It is, Sean Livingston called it basketball Disneyland.
Oh, wow.
And that's a good way to describe it. Like if you love hoops, you walk in there and you just feel it. And so it is for kids of all ages and skill levels. You can be, you can be Kevin Durant. You can be little Tommy that's a first grader.
2 feet.
Tommy 2 feet. We got to lower the hoop down and all that stuff, and everybody in between. So we're really excited about it.
Yeah, it sounds awesome. I can't wait to see it. I haven't seen it obviously yet, but I think I will get there.
Oh yeah, you're the VIP, man.
Oh man, come on.
You're the VIP.
So it doesn't. I mean, you don't have to be part of a certain AAU club or program. There's none of that, right?
No.
It's not tied to anything like that. It's totally separate.
Yes, it is. It's not an AAU program. Right. It's not a club program. This is just about where kids can come and get their reps in. And there's no shortcut around what basketball is all about. Like you gotta, it's a game of skill. The only way to acquire that skill is to put in the time and get the reps. And that's one of the best things about Shoot 360 is you can come in, like we said, it's a membership. You set your time on the app. Okay, I want to come in at 3:00 on Tuesday, and in 30 minutes of shooting, you can get 300 plus shots up.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And that's a lot of shots. And then when you add in the technology piece of it, this is the best part about it, Mike, is so when you get inside of the shooting bays, think batting cages with basketball hoops, okay? And so there's cameras above the hoops, and they're tracking every single shot. And Shoot 360 has gathered millions of shots, and NASA and Carnegie Mellon has studied 2 million jump shots, and they have calculated the perfect jump shot based on 3 key factors: arc, how high you shoot it; depth, how strong you shoot it; and alignment, how straight you shoot it. So you're getting reps, or you're getting feedback on every shot on those 3 elements, and shots that fall in the range of those 3 elements go in 98% of the time. So shooting's about building that muscle memory. And so you are able to get in 300 plus reps on that technology, you're going to become a better shooter. And again, it is all ages. You hear all that stuff and you think, man, do I need to be Keisei Tominaga? Do I need to be Baylor Shireman to do this? You don't need to be that. There certainly are players of that skill level inside of these facilities, but it kind of meets you where you're at with your skill development. And so the shooting component to it is just, I'm sure you talk to a lot of young high school players, even young middle school players, that everybody has a desire to go get up shots.
Right.
But they're like, okay, where can I go?
Yeah.
All right, I can try to go to this, the YMCA or whatever. And
no one uses a blacktop anymore.
No one uses a blacktop anymore. But in defensive like that is sometimes it's 30-mile-an-hour gust winds, and you're like, well, what am I today? I'm going to the rack today. Today is get to the rack.
Ball handling day.
It's a ball handling and driving day. But so you're battling the elements outside. You're battling gym space at different places. But this is a place where kids can come and just get shots up, can get their skills worked on. And so, it's not affiliated with anything. It's its own standalone place where we invite any and everybody to come in that loves basketball, that wants to improve and grow their love for the game.
And just Lincoln.
Right now, just Lincoln. We're trying hard. We have a vision of one day these being kind of across the state of Nebraska. But at this point, we got to get the doors open in Lincoln and go from there.
Make this work first.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's
okay,
right.
Now I have a question. Now I want a little more in depth on you.
Yep.
Because you always interview people, and no one ever talks to you about your path and life and thing. So I want to go back to, let's just start. The first question I have is, tell me about Slick.
Okay, good question. I know, right?
Tell me about Slick.
Slick,
and how Slick I need the whole story on Slick.
Okay, so Slick was born literally on the first workout at Kansas my freshman year. I walk into the practice facility.
This is going to be good.
I know. And Wayne Simeon. People don't know Wayne Simeon was a baller. He was a great player. His jerseys hanging in the rafters. Right. Wayne walks over to me. We're shooting around, and he stops and looks at me and goes, "You're kind of slick. I'm going to call you Slick." And I was like, "I'll take it." I'm not gonna if someone wants to call you Slick, you're not gonna turn it down,
right?
But I don't feel like I look like a Slick. Maybe it's ironic, when there's a big guy, they call him tiny.
Yeah. It's probably the opposite.
It's the opposite. I'm that
kind
person.
Kind of Steph, you would call Slick.
Yes. Me, I'm not Slick. No, you could say it. Trust me. This has been 20 years of this, and I'm like, I'll take it. But I'm not thinking it's appropriate.
So, journalism major, this is what you always wanted to do.
Ever since I was young. What's weird is growing up, being a basketball player, it's not to say I wasn't confident in my skills, but I never pictured myself playing in the NBA. Right. Maybe it's because I'm 6'2" and I play below the rim and white, all that stuff.
That's fair.
The odds were kind of stacked against me in that regard. But I had dreams I wanted to start for Lincoln Southeast, and then I wanted a Division I scholarship, and I wanted to play at Kansas, and then I wanted to play at Creighton. For me, my dreams in terms of being what I wanted to do with my life was I wanted to be Dick Vitale. I wanted to be courtside calling games. That was, people ask me all the time, is this really your dream job? I'm like, dog, I hit Powerball tomorrow, 750 million. I want to go do Butler and East Tennessee State. Right. I love it. Yeah. And so I think the first time I always felt like that, but the first time, I think it was my sophomore year of high school, I got interviewed after a game, and being on camera, the rush of the camera and talking, could feel it, and then it was validated. I really lucked out, Mike, when I was done at Creighton. I'm a GA, and we kind of didn't have a full-time radio analyst, and we had a local TV package at the time was KMTV. Nice.
Yeah.
And so I was able to slide right in and get a whole season of radio, doing about 5 to 10 basketball games a year. And I'm telling you, the first game, I'm courtside headset. you just, I'm like, this is where I want to be forever.
How much sweat was running down your head?
The first on-camera open where we're standing up. You ever done a stand? You do it all the time. Like there's something more like we're sitting here. It's more comfortable.
A little nervous.
Standing up
by yourself.
You're like you feel like you see those America's Funniest Videos where like the groomsmen like fakes. Like you can't lock your don't lock your knees, dog. Or you're going down. But no, there was trust me, I was nervous. I was talking a million miles per hour. But the other thing that was nice about the local component of it too is I got to suck for a couple of years.
Yeah, no one really like.
No, I mean people are watching, but it's not like I always feel bad. Like Shane Battier left the NBA and went right to like calling like 40 college basketball games a year, and people gave Shane a hard time. It's like, man, that's not easy to do, So I was able to kind of get my reps in on a smaller scale.
I was just going to go with that. It's just like basketball. It's about reps. The more reps you get, the better you get at it. So, and then turned radio host. Like, how'd that happen?
So when I was a GA, I was kind of at a crossroads where I was like, okay, there was always a part of me that also kind of wanted to coach. Because you see a lot of guys that they coach and then they get into TV.
Right. Yeah.
And so I was like, hey, maybe that's my route. I'm not sure really what I want to do. And the radio thing, Kevin Kugler was instrumental in getting me fill-in opportunities on Sportsmanlike Conduct with him and Michael. I would do radio hits with him when I was playing at Creighton. And so getting a taste of the radio world kind of piqued my interest. And then getting paired up with Matt Schick at the time was like, okay, I got really good chemistry with this guy. And it was certainly not my plan. I can't even front. Like I wasn't one of those guys like, I listened to Cowherd, I listened to Rome. Like I'd never listened to a second of sports talk radio before I did it, And so it was either if like I read to ride somewhere with Coach Altman in his car, he would have it on. I'm like, why would anybody listen to this, But now I, once you get into it, you love it. And so it just kind of worked out that way. Yeah.
And then now, I mean, you've evolved.
Yeah.
Like how do you think you've evolved? Why? Like this is, I guess the name of this podcast is Engineering Culture. So like there's a culture to doing kind of like a team, right? You have a team of people that help you behind the scenes and all of that. Like how important is that? And then your evolution, like how do you feel like you've gotten better? Or what did it take? Is it just reps, or is there teaching behind the people behind the scenes helping you? Hey man, I maybe would have.
Yeah, it's both. I know that's a lame answer, but it's for me, I think what was huge was being a part of like the 1620 the zone culture, where dudes like Kevin Kugler, who I just like that guy. He's my friend, awesome. So it's weird to like be like that's like my mentor, right. But he really is. Like there probably isn't anybody I text more in my life than Kevin. I'm always bouncing things off and leaning on him heavily. Like having an example, like I think that's really important. And like you talk about culture, I think the hardest thing to do is probably build culture. But like when culture is established, when you get people into your culture, a lot of it is do what that person's doing. Yeah. Like follow that person's lead, follow his work ethic, lean on him, ask him questions. So Kevin was instrumental. Guys like Neil Nelkin, who was the program director at the time, was big instrumental. A guy, Grandpa Neil coming in. There was a guy named Dave Tepper that was instrumental for me. He came in, was the program director when I was doing my solo show, and he really helped me understand the technical side of broadcasting and radio. But so I think it's reps. Like you just got to do it. You just got to put on a headset. You got to get behind a mic, and you just got to do it.
And not be afraid to fail.
Not be afraid to fail. Try things. I mean, I can think of a bunch of segments where it's like, what am I doing? And like, if I had to listen to like my first radio segment, I would want to crawl in a hole, listen to it. If I had to listen to myself call a game on KMTV back in 2009, I would want to crawl into a hole. But like, that's all a part of it. But yeah, I've been around a lot of great broadcasters that I've been able to lean on, follow their lead, and hopefully kind of add my little, because you can't try to be like, I can't be like, I'm going to be like Kevin. Like Kevin's Kevin. I got to be me.
Style. Yeah. How do you, what is like the Holy Grail? Is it the Final Four?
Yeah, that'd probably be NCAA tournament Final Four. If I could ever be courtside TV calling the Final Four, that would be like, everything,
I made it.
I made a little bit like that would kind of feel like that. But Yeah, I think that's in terms of, and it's good to have those goals,
Right, yeah.
It's good to have something that you're striving for, you're working for. That would probably be it for me broadcasting wise. Like if I could ever get to where I'm calling an NCAA tournament on TV and get to where you're calling a Final Four, that would be incredible.
Mm-hmm. But you do some studio stuff. What do you like more, the courtside or studio stuff?
I like courtside. I like feeling it. I like
being
studio.
at the game.
I love
in the game.
You know it.
Yeah.
I mean, you. There's nothing that replicates it, man.
No.
There's nothing that replicates it. And that's the other thing is like, I think one of the more underrated things that is challenging for athletes is giving it up.
Mm.
And people talk about like, oh, you're not just a basketball player. Well, it's a big part of your life.
Mm.
Like I'll just use me for example. For 22, 23 years, like my identity was like we did those labels at the start. Like I was Nick Bahe, basketball player,
right?
And all of a sudden, when that ends, you're like, okay, who am I? And where are my goals? Where's my energy? What am I working towards? And being able to still be around the game gives me an opportunity to not lose that too much, still be courtside, still feel the energy, still get to
connect with the people,
connect with the coaches, feel what that's like, see a shoot around before a big game and feel that good tension that you miss. So that's the other thing that's been great about this is like, I don't know what I'd do without basketball. I really don't. Like it's everything. That's why the Shoot 360 thing is heaven sent as well. Like it's another way for me to like double down on like staying around the game.
Right.
But that's the other thing that's been good is being able to stick around hoops with what I'm doing broadcasting wise.
You once made 58 free throws in a row.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably not going to be touched for a while.
Bradley out of Norfolk.
When you missed the 59th, were you like,
I was relieved.
Does it go in
a weird way?
Did you know?
Yes. Here's what's funny about that is and this is
high school record still.
It's a Nebraska State high school record.
And it probably will never.
Well, and one of the reasons it probably won't get broken is because with social media,
Pressure.
if you get close to it, someone's going to let you know.
Oh, yeah.
So what was amazing was it was a guy named Pat Hodges at Lexington. He had the record at 47. I knew I'd made a lot in a row. Right. Like I was like, I haven't missed one of these in a long time. Right. And
that's like
it was crazy. It was
games and years probably.
No, yeah, it was like Mike, it felt like I couldn't even remember. Like if someone would have told me in the midst of the streak, when's the last time you missed a free throw? I'm like, I really don't know. I couldn't tell you. But when I was getting close to breaking the record, there was no social media.
Right.
And my dad, I didn't realize this. He kind of had like a family meeting with like everybody except me. And he was like,
don't talk about
you guys. Nobody do not mention the record. Do not mention that he's close to it. Don't say anything. Because he needs to not know. And I'm glad that happened because I remember we were in the holiday tournament at Lincoln High. Might have been playing Lincoln High or Humboldt, Texas was coming from out of town to play. And I break the record. I go in after the game, come out of the locker room, and Riley Jane Hamilton and Stu Postman, like everybody's there waiting for me. Like I had no idea at the time. But then after that, every time I'd go to the free throw line, it was like,
dead quiet.
So I missed the 59th one at home.
And everyone cheered.
And everybody was like, no, there's an audible, and it was like first quarter, a minute into the game. And for me, I was a little like, thank God. So that's what I think about. I lived in the world of having to uphold the streak for like 10 of them. And it was like unbearable.
Yeah.
So, I don't see
Alex being like, Dad, he's like, super quiet. Like he's total opposite personality of you. And I could see him being like, but Dad, he should know.
He needs to know. He needs to know. He needs to find out. Yeah. I don't know if Alex was having a hard time not telling me, but he followed my dad's orders. No one told me about it. But yeah, it's one of those, I'm not gonna lie, it's one of those records I think it's gonna stand.
You were I would imagine that's not
gonna get touched
for a while. So you did not win a state championship.
No,
but you
let's
were
talk
real
about that.
close in basketball. But you were part of teams that won two. Well, quarterback of teams that won two football ones.
Yep.
And frankly, like Lincoln football has been high school football has
declined
since
a little
then.
bit.
It's been
for
like,
sure.
So like
Well,
you're still the standard. You guys are still like, we're the stuff in Lincoln.
Yeah. I mean, I think right when in 2003 was the year I graduated, was the year Southwest was opening.
Right.
You know, so like
once that happened, watered it down.
Because you remember, I mean, growing up, looking for basketball, like Lincoln High, Lincoln East, Lincoln Southeast, Lincoln Northeast, like those 4 teams were typically 4 of the best 8 teams in the state every year.
Northeast had
I tell you,
they were way
Kalura's 3-peat, those dudes were unbelievable. But the opening of the new school, the new schools in North Star and Southwest, and now there's going to be a couple more in Lincoln, has just spread out the talent. So that's a big part of it. But yeah, you know, so winning a couple of titles in football, but basketball, Mike, man, going into my sophomore year,
we were runner-up twice, right?
Runner-up twice. Yeah. So my sophomore year, though, that was the best team I was on. We lost in the quarterfinals to Bell West. We were the 1 seed, they were the 8 seed, and
that's the first game. Too.
That's first game. We had Jake Muehlheisen, Barrett Root, me, Alex Gordon. You know, like we were loaded, and we hadn't been touched.
Right.
And there was an article in the paper leading into the state tournament, like if Southeast wins, are they now the best team in state history? And we come in, we really hadn't been in any close games. You know how it can be down there.
It's tight.
All of a sudden, going to the fourth quarter, it was close. We tightened up. We lose. My junior year, I get us back to the state finals. We play West Wilkinson and Kurt Mann and Grand Island. They were physical. They slowed it up. They defended me, and we lose. Senior year, get all the way back to the state finals again, play Lincoln High, who I'd never lost to in high school, not one time. And we were up 13-0 at the end of the first quarter.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it was over.
It was over, right?
Yeah.
And fell apart, got tight, lost. And so really, like if going into the state tournament my sophomore year, like if someone would like over or under state titles the next 2 years, you'd set it at like 2. And I'd have been like, and I come away with 0. So it's, you know, I don't think there's any one sports moments that have shaped me more than those state championship losses.
Yeah.
Gut wrenching.
Yeah.
You know, you get all the way there and you come up short. And one of the things that is hard to reconcile is over the years, you know, you come to the conclusion, like, I didn't play well in those games. Like, you know, it is your dudes got to be dudes in those spots. And those state championship games were probably 2 of my worst games of my entire high school career. So it's hard to accept that. But yeah, it's, you know, it's maybe one of the reasons that sometimes I identify with identify with someone like LeBron, where I always want to give people credit, and everybody's biased in their own way. Like getting there is not easy.
You know,
it's not easy. But it's also, man, when you get there and you can taste it and then it's ripped from you, it is really, really hard.
Yeah. LeBron still won. I mean, it's crazy.
But to get there and lose.
Okay. So now you brought it up. So why are NBA championships and Super Bowl titles and whatever, like, why is that the legacy? Shouldn't all the other stuff be the legacy?
Well, to me,
you know, like
what I never understand is
we're talking like Eli Manning's like one of the best, like Hall of Fame, like because he won Super Bowls, or because he did all this other stuff.
I don't know, and that's,
there's like LeBron in that conversation. People are like, oh, they all like. Oh, he's not good. Like, not one of the best. No, he's clearly one of the best.
Yeah.
He's the best athlete to ever play, in my opinion.
Yeah. No, I'm still, I saw you and Jordan's still the GOAT to me, but I don't think, I've never understood how we discount, everybody like Jordan's, 6-0. Okay. But like, there were a bunch of years that he lost to Detroit, or like he didn't get there, but that's not held against him, and I'm not necessarily arguing that it should, but like all the years that, Braun loses to San Antonio or to Golden State, it's like, so would it have been better for him to lose in the first round of the playoffs or than to get to the finals and lose? Like I get confused with that of like, it takes a lot of work to get there. We're so Jordan in some ways has like, he was all about crunch time. Like he made everybody focus on how are you with
Right.
a minute left in the game,
Right,
and how are you in championships. And I get that that's like kind of what the point of sports is, but at the same time, there's a lot that leads up to crunch
Right.
time, and there's a lot that leads up to getting to the championship series.
Okay, so I want to have a little fun with a couple questions. Who taught you how to play basketball?
Probably mainly my brother,
Alex.
Yeah, 4
Why?
years older than me, was my coach all growing up. Like I'm talking
Like YMCA
second
stuff?
grade, third grade. Like, you know, we talk about reps, why I think Alex is such a good coach. Like dude was coaching me and my friends when he was in seventh grade, like a whole season. You know, like by the time that dude got to Elkhorn, his first head coaching job, that guy had a decade plus of coaching.
Yeah.
And so, I would credit him. And then, like I watched Michael Jordan come fly with me, Michael Jordan airtime. Like I like watching him and playing on a mini hoop in my basement. Like, so the combination of like, you know, in a big sense, it was like Jordan and trying to emulate him, but my brother was instrumental. And then also like I come from a family of coaches, you know, like my grandpa Al, legendary coach at Fremont, gym's named after him. My uncle Chip has been a coach everywhere. Miller North, Northeast, Omaha South. Like, he's been everywhere. And so like every Thanksgiving conversation, every Easter conversation, like we're talking about high school basketball. We're talking about hoops. So there's also like that's feeding your basketball soul too.
Yeah. Okay. But who taught you how to drive?
Alex
and
my older brother. And that was terrible. Wow, you got some recon on this or what, man?
And was it maybe like in Bob's Burgers when Tina learned how to drive the first time you drove?
Yes. We went to this vacant parking lot. Like I'm talking nobody, okay? And I get going straight, and I was like, come on, turn a little bit. Like I was headed towards a light pole, and I was like,
no one there.
Nobody there. Nobody's there.
Okay, keep going.
Yeah, and I'm headed towards like the light pole, and he's like, hold on. Slow down. Turn it. Just turn it a little bit. Just turn it a little bit. Turn it. And so I had to like slam on the brakes. Almost got into like the cops would have come in like single car accident, 0 other cars in the parking lot, light pole, crushed it. Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't know what my problem was. I could drive a golf cart, but a car scared the shit out of me.
So what? All right.
But he was a coach, man. It's the coach in him.
He was coaching you how to drive. He taught you how to drive. I remember my brother's older, and first time I think like he was in charge of teaching me how to drive, and I'm like, this dude, teach me how to drive.
But for me, it was comfort. Like it comforted me having him there. Like I was more comfortable with him than my dad or a driving instructor. Like he somehow, I don't know.
He's he's got a calming.
Yes, he was very calm about it. Like other than when I almost hit the light pole, but he got me to like he calmed down with it. But yeah, it worked for me.
The Bob's Burgers Tina clip you have to watch because like that's.
Alex sent it to me. He goes, "Who does this remind you?" I'm like, "Oh my god!" It's like were the writers like watching this and like this is hysterical. This needs to be in a cartoon, you know.
He may or may not have sent that to me, and I watched it, and I was like, I could have totally imagined you two doing.
Mike, it was like we're not exaggerating. Like that's what it was. It was horrible.
Like okay,
you kind of going towards the only. That's terrible.
Okay, I have a couple more topics I want to get.
Fire away.
So, Matt Schick, your relationship with him.
Yeah.
You talked about chemistry. We talked about already, and you guys still do stuff together.
Yep.
Like, how important is that relationship? And you probably lean on him a little bit for some and like help. Just be in the professional side.
Totally. I've leaned on him a ton as well. Yeah.
And you guys are hilarious. Like, everyone knows that, right? The chemistry is just.
What's weird is like from the first time I ever met him, like we just instantly had kind of a chemistry with what humor was. But what's weird is his style of humor is very different than mine. And yet it kind of comes together and works. And so one of the very first times we ever met, he had this idea when I was redshirting. He did a KTV story where it was like me as like a bench warmer and how like, you know, it's me like tying Anthony Tolliver's shoes and how like, you know, when we're a 500 team without me and the record, you know, like it was this funny thing, and I got it and just went with it, and yeah, we hit it off right away, and yeah, I think the world of him. I admire him as a person, and yeah, he I don't know if there's anybody have just more fun, just like fun. Just having fun with somebody, he is like the gold standard for me.
Okay, last topic I want to discuss is rap music and 90s rap music, which I know you're a fan of.
Yep.
So, like, your Mount Rushmore of rappers is
in the 90s?
Just
where are we going? Okay.
Ever. And I might disagree with you on this because that's my...
Okay. Yeah, this is good.
Okay.
To me,
there's two for sure.
There's two locks for me.
Three locks.
Two locks for me are Tupac and Jay-Z.
And Biggie. So you're more of so you're not a New York rap.
No, guy. If I had to choose, like out of New York, I would do J1, Big 2, and then probably Nas 3.
Yeah, but okay, just overall, I mean, Tupac and Biggie is everybdoing,
everybody, but like Tupac. What's weird is I feel like I don't know how it's been for you. As I've aged, I've gravitated. Like I loved Pac when he was would do it, but like his music has aged well for me.
Right.
I've found myself almost liking him more as I've gotten older. But Pac. Man, it's hard to leave a dude like Snoop off it.
Yeah,
you know,
just
with
what he culturally,
just the like. I mean, you say what you want. Like people don't think he like, you know, in terms of like raw rapping ability, but like I don't know, we can get too lost in the sauce with how we're judging that.
Nas is up.
Nas is up
really
there. One of the most amazing at the Bourbon Theater in Lincoln. He had his 20-year anniversary of Illmatic. He came, and so you've been. It's a small venue. He did Illmatic in its entirety sequence, and that was one of the most amazing things I've seen. Here's what's hard. You know who I want to put on there is like Kanye before Kanye.
Before Crazy Kanye.
Before Crazy Kanye,
he was the like, old stuff.
So like College Dropout, Late Registration, Graduation,
all those are
My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Classic.
Like unbelievable. He had especially his first 3 albums to me were like incredible. So he would have to probably be on mine. But where do you come up? Biggie's only got 2 albums.
Well, died.
no, I'm saying like that's what.
Yeah, like that are 2 like I guess I've watched a documentary on him and stuff like that, so it makes it feel a little like, oh man, this guy, he does have some pretty. Yeah, he does only have 2 albums.
It's only
That's
2
a
albums.
Good point.
It's only 2, so it's hard to like now. Life After Death is like like a experience, you know.
Yeah. Ready to Die is kind of just okay.
Yeah, I'm more of a Life After Death guy, but he's only. It's just the body of work isn't as big, and that's what makes it hard to like. Okay, Snoop has this enormous, and so does Jay, and all like they have this enormous catalog. Big's got 2 albums now. That like that the run that he had from 93 to 96, 97 was unbelievable. But who
where do you come out on the new people though?
Yeah, see,
like this era. Well, okay, it's not. This is just my opinion, but like the auto-tune crap can go away.
Yeah,
like I'm over. That's dumb. Everyone sounds the same. All the Lils and Does. They're all the same. Like, Duh, Lil Babies.
Yeah.
Like,
it's all
there's multiple of them. People. Bye. See you later. But like Meek Mill, I'm a huge fan of Meek Mill.
Yeah, I like Meek
Mill. That stuff that'll get you moving.
But
if you need to get
going,
if you need to punch someone in the face or run through a wall, put on some Meek.
You go. The new thing now in a lot of shoot arounds is they play music at like college shoot around, you know, and like it's a lot of Meek. Like a lot of Meek.
Yeah, because it like is.
But what's crazy though is you talk about new like Meek. When did Meek come out? Like Meek probably came out in 20
years ago.
You know, he's probably 10 years. So it's like whatever your definition of new is. Like I'm trying to think the last couple of years new rapper that came out that I liked.
The last couple of years have been
awful. I know that's a sign of getting old, I guess, but like I feel like me and you kind of still have young, like we're around young people, and I mean you got to go back to like J. Cole, Kendrick,
and that's a total different style.
Yes,
that's like, but I'm chilling in the corner,
right? And Meek is different than those guys.
Yeah.
Meek is very different than those guys, but
Chance the
Chance the
Rapper.
Rapper. I like Chance.
For a minute.
I would probably say like in terms of new, like those would be
Those are
so
the guys, yeah.
J. Cole, Kendrick, Chance, and Meek would probably be though. But other than that, I can't think of a new.
There isn't.
Okay, how about this too?
So I go back, like I love 80s, like the old, like
Rakim and LL, and now LL has, you know, he was
still,
20 plus years of going.
But I mean, like Raekwon, like I'm a East Coast rap guy.
Right.
Like,
so you're Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah,
and you're,
yeah. Well, not so much Wu-Tang.
Just specific,
because it's a little weird.
Yeah, you get deep in
it's
in
a little
that.
weird.
I'm like a Red Meth,
Yes.
Ghostface,
Yes,
Raekwon.
Like, give me that. But
those, but yeah, it gets
not. Don't give me
RZA, Jizza.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, you're
Those
not into
guys,
those.
no, and not the dude. What's
Old Dirty Bastard?
Yeah, that crazy dude.
I'm not a huge ODB guy.
Yeah,
People like ODB. I'm not like, yeah, he's weird. I'm not a huge fan.
No.
What?
But like Grandmaster Flash, like those sort of
for me,
things,
I was just going to say
they were the pioneers.
What made me the first rap that I fell in love with was Run DMC.
Yeah. Like you can't not.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like does it kind of feel like, I'm trying to think of what like the basketball equivalent would be of like Run DMC, where like when we talk all time, I feel like they get like they've gotten overlooked for a long time now.
Magic.
Maybe like now people are like, you forget that like Magic was do you guys remember Magic? Like you guys remember how good he was? Yeah. But
he's like the Magic.
Yeah. Where
like,
it's like without because
Magic and Bird and like those guys. Like
like I don't know who. So Run DMC and I don't know if you'd want to say Grandmaster Flash or like are the Magic and Bird that like took hip hop up, because it was like Sugar Hill Gang was like Bill Russell.
Yeah.
Like, and Will
we're
and
all right.
like got it going, right? And we're and kind of like pioneering like what GOAT basketball can be, right? Like, but without Run DMC and like rap went up to another level with them. But what is like to me, Bone Thugs and Harmony is one of the best rap
really
groups.
That was like my era, like growing up. Outkast.
Outkast. That was the other thing I was going to ask you. Like, I get it.
The
Andre
Atlanta
3000 is like everybody. You poll everybody. Andre 3000 is probably the superior rapper to Big Boy. But like, I feel like because we all think that we overlook how good of a rapper Big Boy is.
They as a group, they're really good.
Oh man,
really good.
They're fantastic.
Sometimes I just pop on a little bit. Like depends on the mood, but and even there's like the Atlanta version, like Goody Mob and all them are in the conversation.
Luda and T.I. and
I wish Chicago had a little more. There isn't.
I mean, you got Common, you got Kanye, and you got Chance.
But Common's like going to church.
Yeah, Common's a little different kind of
he's on the
he's a little more thoughtful.
Like, yeah. If you want deep thoughts with
Common's the dude for you.
Yeah, remember Deep Thoughts with Jack Hanley?
Deep Thoughts with Common the rapper.
It's not.
Okay. I know it's all kind of what you want, but yeah, no, I'm nervous about the state of hip hop, man. And I don't know if it's just because I'm getting old or what it is, but I don't know.
It'll turn back. I have a feeling like it'll go in because there was all this auto-tuning stuff before, and then it kind of flipped, and now it'll end up.
You were maybe not. Correct me if I'm wrong. You were a DJ in a past life.
Oh man, I don't want to talk about that.
No. But this is going to lend itself into what my.
So I DJ'd like a wedding, proms, a funeral. If you want to have a party.
Oh boy,
I was doing whatever.
Okay,
like I did homecoming. Like I did all that.
Okay,
like from when I was in college. For a couple years, and then I moved away, and then I came back and did not so much like the basement party, your high school thing.
It was more
more high school. Yeah, I was more like wedding, and like I'm gonna dress like a guest and not the dude with the red top hat on.
Got it.
Yeah, I was like super professional. Like we're going to the country club.
Yes.
So like a little different.
Okay,
yeah. But yes, that's why music is important to me.
Well, no, but okay. So think about this. I heard a DJ talking about this that does like clubs, and he says one of the huge differences that has impacted the sound of rap is rap used to be a big part of rap used to be dance and party music.
Correct. Yeah.
Since the whole get a table and get bottles,
people
in the club like the people that own the clubs, they want more. It's not about getting people out of their table and the couch and to the dance floor. It's more about no. Keep them on the couch. Get them to order another bottle. Yeah. When he said that, I'm like, you know what? That's kind of what it sounds like. There's not like a part of what 90s rap was like, it was fun, upbeat. It was dance. It was dancing, party music.
You're leaving the bar sweaty.
Yes. Yeah. Like you are getting a drink. I mean, you're drinking, your song comes on. You're like, I got to get out there. Right. You know? And so these club promoters, from what I was heard like that, I don't know. I was like, okay, that makes sense. Because now
money in the
So now, because now it's more, it's just not party music,
right?
And that, so I don't know. As a DJ,
I'm
on the complete other
crazy.
spectrum.
Yeah, I want this whole place dance floor. I want to go and get crazy.
Yes.
Like that.
What do you think of that?
If I'm having a good time, that's what I want to be doing.
Yeah.
Instead of just chilling.
Yeah, just sitting on. I mean, there's a time for that. You know, like there's more laid back songs you can listen to and you can drink a little bit or whatever, sipping on a little something. But at some point, like, it's got to like, okay, here we go. And that DJ just like gives you a run.
Remember Club Patrick's?
Yeah.
I DJ'd there.
Did you
Friday
really?
Nights. Yeah, I was a Friday night DJ until they fired me because I wouldn't play techno stuff.
Oh, thank God.
And I'm like, man, I am not doing this. Like,
that's my number one thing. I'm like, are they playing techno? They are. I'm not coming here.
I was like, and he was like, oh, you know, like, I'm like, why don't we just have like hip hop ish nights on Fridays? And so I would have to like spin it in, and I'm like, but look, like the dance floor here is full when I play this, versus not. Like, and
you know what?
That isn't me. And if that's what you want, fine. So he fired me, and that was okay. But I do remember Danny Manning walked in and sat at the bar one night, and he was there the entire night. And my friend was in town from Texas, and I was like, yeah, just come to the club tonight with me, whatever. Like, you hang out. And my friend had the balls to go ask Danny Manning for an autograph.
Well, you were saying
on a napkin.
Here you go, Danny. Sign this for me.
He did.
Shout out to the 88
like,
Jayhawks. But no, Danny was he was the graduate manager. I think was his title. Right. My freshman and sophomore year, I was with Danny. Was the one coach that I was like the closest to.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
And man, you talk about a dude that even retired. Like, he would hop in on scout team and
still get bucked.
Oh my God, Mike! Like he could still. High post. He was like Jokic, like wasn't moving very fast. You'd get him in the high post, you cut, he'd get it to you. Now Danny, that's funny because the amount of people I saw come up and ask him for autographs, and his thing would always be like, "Yeah, walk with me." Like he wasn't gonna stop.
He doesn't walk very fast anymore.
No, he's those knee surgeries got him good, but like that was his thing. He was like, "Walk with me." So if he would sign it, but like he's walking to the bus, and like when I get on the bus, it's over.
I mean, I vividly still remember I'm standing in a DJ booth, and he's like, "Oh my God, that's Danny Manning over there," and I'm like, "Is it?" And I'm like, "Oh, it is."
It's not
I'm
hard
like,
to
"All
miss
right,
him.
here, I'm gonna try and get him moving a little bit and play something," and then he's like, "I'm gonna go ask him for an autograph." I go, "I don't know if that's kind of okay." And he goes, "No, I don't care." And then he just smashes a drink real quick, my friend.
Right.
And then I see him like, "Oh God, please don't get kicked out. Don't get kicked out.
Don't go poorly.
Yeah, don't get kicked out of here because like I'm working." and he does it, and I'm like, just looking out of the corner of my eye.
Did it seem like it went okay?
It went fine.
Okay.
Like he signed it, and then my dude just walked away and came over, and he was all excited. I'm like, "Man, don't celebrate around me. I'm working here. Like, I want him to stay. Don't get the fuck out of my way."
Oh my God.
And it was little napkin. I'm sure he does not have.
Isn't that funny? Like, you were like, you worked yourself up into a tizzy to go do that, and that napkin is in a landfill. Like,
ripped up.
It's ripped up. It's got nothing on it. Before you wrap this up, if you're planning on wrapping it up, I want to say to you, I've loved watching you and how your career has progressed from the standpoint of like you, like what you do and how you have really just your rise. Like you there's no secret sauce with you. You work your ass off. It's a lot of time in a car, driving out different places. It's a lot of cultivating relationships. Like there isn't, I think that is refreshing. Like you have gone out there and you have built relationships with every coach in the state, players in the state. And ultimately all you want to do is lift up people in this state. You want to lift up check out this player. Check out my man Kissinger from Wahoo. You know what I mean? Like, he's awesome. You're giving him a platform. You're giving a girls basketball player from Bennington a platform. You're giving a coach. So, like, I just want to make sure, we talk about people giving people their flowers. Like I just want to let you know that, like, I admire you and I appreciate you, because you are, like, you're talking about old school 90s stuff. Like, you are a relationship guy, a face-to-face guy. You build rapport, you build trust, and you lift everybody up. So, hey,
I appreciate that.
Yeah. No, I know it's a lot. It's a lot of hours in a car. It's a lot of, like,
and
it's
the family part, man.
Yeah.
Like, the family part is, like, I just, like, I miss them.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's every Friday. Like, I'm always amazed. Like, Alex and I were giving you a hard time. We texted you the other day, like, where are you at? And you were going out, like, somewhere western Nebraska. Yeah, like, but it's a lot of time alone in front of a windshield. But there's sacrifices for everything you do. You can't have it all. You either got time, you got this, you got that. Like, there are sacrifices in this thing. And I just, like, I don't know. I just if no one pats you on the back and tells you you're appreciated, you are, and, like, I'd have to imagine you also get cool messages from parents of, like, hey, thanks for talking about my son or my daughter or whatever.
And that stuff's more important, right? The private conversation, I try to not make it about me.
No. And you don't. You don't. Yeah. But I just want to let you know, because I'm sure you're, like, man, okay, here I go. I'm going to Albion for a football game, and, like,
going to Battle Creek
I'm
tomorrow.
So, like, but those things are, like, hey, that's work, man. Yeah. And you got to build. I'm sure you have so many relationships. I didn't know this coach. I had to just slowly build trust with him, build rapport with him. And now he trusts me. I trust him. We're cool. We have a relationship, and it's, I don't know. And it's
more to come on that, Nick, because your boy's going to be doing more college basketball.
I've heard, and that makes me happy. That makes me happy. Because what's cool is you seem like now, like, you built the high school, but you've built relationships.
Evolution.
Yeah. Like, I mean, you built that foundation, you're building it up. So I just want to let you know, like,
appreciate
I love it, man. I love what you're doing. I love that you're lifting up. That's what we're trying to do at Shoot 362, just, like, lift up basketball starting in Lincoln. We want to work it up, man. And so I just love how you do that.
All right. That's the man, Nick Ball. So real long episode here, but it was fun. It was fun. It was a great time, and appreciate you stopping in.
For sure, man. Thanks for having me on.
A Hurrdat Sports Network production.